Dear students, in this video we are going to learn about technology transfer from R&D to production. The contents of this video are introduction to technology transfer team, stages involved in technology transfer from R&D to production, conclusion and references. First of all, we must understand what is exactly meant by technology transfer. Technology transfer is the process of transferring a formula from one manufacturing unit to another. The researcher designs a formula, or it may be a drug discovery, and following the drug discovery, a formulation of the new drug is a kind of novel process or novel technology, we can say, and this is the technology which is needed to be transferred from one part of the industry to another. So here the one part of the industry is R&D, where the researcher actually develops a formula, develops a process of manufacturing a product, and this process is needed to be successfully transferred from one part, means R&D of the industry, to the large scale manufacturing plant. Or it may be sometimes this kind of new technology, new developed technology, which is required to be transferred from one manufacturing site to another manufacturing site. Sometimes it is the transfer of the process even from one country to another country. So there is a logical procedure required for this kind of procedure to take place, so that successful transfer would be there. Unless we have the skill of having such a successful transfer, it will not be possible to expand the business. A developer of a technology in some cases may not be having a capacity to commercialize it, because a novel technology or a new technology can be developed in the limited premises area or in a laboratory, but if the same thing is required to be commercialized, then it won't be possible for everyone. So the researcher or the developer of a technology does not have that capacity in case it is not the R&D of belonging to that particular company or industry. A researcher can be anybody. A researcher or a developer of the technology can be anybody. He can be a person who is a academician, or who is a person having his own lab, or accidentally someone finds a new process, a new technology on the basis of his own experience, own studies, and such a technology is needed to be transferred if it is to be commercialized. But the person who is discovering this thing has no capacity to produce it at a large scale, and here comes the role of technology transfer. So as I told you, it is a logical procedure that controls the transfer of any process together with its documentation and professional expertise between development and manufacture, or between manufacture sites. So here the transfer of this process between development and manufacture. The developer is there in the R&D of a company, and it is to be transferred to the manufacture section, or it may be the transfer from one manufacturing site to the another manufacturing site. Sometimes The manufacturing sites are belonging to a same company, but from one manufacturing site the given process is successfully supposed to be transferred, and therefore it requires to go through a certain logical procedure, what is known as the technology transfer. In this point we can see technology transfer is the process by which a developer of technology makes its technology available to a commercial partner that will exploit the technology. The commercial partner has the capacity to exploit any kind of technology, but for this he requires a new idea, a new technology, and the new technology is there with the developer. So this developer, he has no capacity on its on his own, and therefore he will require a commercial partner to exploit that particular technology. See, in the pharmaceutical industry, technology transfer refers to the process of successful progress from drug discovery to product development, then clinical trials, and ultimately full-scale commercialization. In pharmaceutical industry, the process of new technology starts with the drug discovery. The drug discovery is followed by the product development. If we have a new drug, then it must be transformed first of all in a product, and therefore we are required to develop a product. It is followed by clinical trials, and ultimately the full-scale commercialization will be there. Then and then only the purpose of the drug discovery will be solved. So here we can understand well using this particular picture. See, there's an basically idea about a new process, about a technology, about a new product. New product methodology or process of making that particular new product, and it is coming from the research. So the research, it may be by a startup firm or it may be by a R&D firm. The startup firm it can be with anybody who has that sort of thinking, that sort of skills, that sort of experience. Whereas the R&D firms, it is an organized effort, and it is a separate unit associated with a company, and the R&D firm always is involved with various kind of research projects. So from such research projects the idea may come out. Even the universities where the professors and the research scholars, they are working on the different projects, or some research institutes are there who are dedicated for the research on the various projects, and as a result of which the idea will be there, and this idea which is the input for any kind of research, and further that research further needs the development, which is carried out by all these things, R&D firms, universities, research institutes, etc. Then this way, the new process or new technological process is developed, and now we have to commercialize this new process, because the new process or new technology has been found after the organizational efforts, after a team efforts taken with the logical thoughts, and the product technology which has been invented, so it will be beneficial only if it is commercialized successfully. But having this process being developed at a very small scale or in the laboratory scale is not sufficient, and even the purpose of this invention will also not solved. Therefore, its commercialization is important. And for this purpose, the larger companies are there having the capacity of production or the manufacturing, and also they have the capacity of distribution and marketing. So the commercialization will be successful only with the help of the giant companies or the larger companies having the capacities of production, manufacture, distribution and marketing. And therefore, the developer of the technology or the researcher needs to coordinate or needs to collaborate with the manufacturer having such capacities, and then only we can say the technology transfer will be successful or has been successful. So now this is the flow chart in order to understand the meaning of technology transfer in a better way. Let us zoom in. So here we can see the innovation. Now this innovation, which is nothing but an idea, the idea may be there in the mind of a researcher or any innovator who has cultivated this idea, and now this idea must be exploited in the R&D by a formulation of a hypothesis for the research project. And once the research project is planned, so a team will be working on that. First, before that, there's a lot of work will take place on the hypothesis framed by the research team, and several experiments will be planned. The data will be extracted and the conclusion will be drawn, and this will produce the information. This information needs to be assessed thoroughly by the researchers so that a fruitful and concrete conclusion will be there. And as this is the conclusion is there regarding the manufacturing of a product, or it is the new technological solution for the manufacturing of a product, obviously will be having several advantages, and as such any kind of innovation is planned if there is a commercial value. Unless there is a commercial value, there will be no use, no importance for investing so much money or spending so much money on the research of that thing. And once the information and assessment of the research project will be over, so the investors will analyze the things. The investors will analyze all that research project, and if the investor is satisfied about the assurance of the potential of the given research project or research work, then obviously he will wish to commercialize it in order to gain the profit. So the industries are meant for that. Industries, actually, they are working day and night. The team of many people in the industry, they are working day and night for finding out such important research work, and using that research work they will like to invest in it in order to commercialize it, so that they will gain the profit, and the commercialization will be followed by the promotion. So entire marketing team will be involved in the promotion. So the large scale manufacturing unit will have the capacity of investment, commercialization as well as promotion. And in this way, the small innovation, a small idea will be, as it is transformed in the innovation, then that innovation has been transformed into the R&D project. The literature will be produced from that uh, research work that was carried out successfully in the R&D or by the R&D people, and such a research work which is there in the public domain, maybe in the form of a published research paper or a patent or something else. And then the role of manufacturing companies will be there for commercialization of the new research project. So this is how the technology transfer will have its role for successfully implementing the innovation into a product with the commercial value. So here let us see what are the reasons for technology transfer. Earlier we have discussed several such reasons, but now let us review the list of all the reasons which are there for technology transfer. Well, the reason for technology transfer due to lack of manufacturing capacity. Well, an innovator or a researcher has no manufacturing capacity, therefore he would like to transfer the new process to a manufacturing level. Well, the researcher or developer of the technology, he wants to gain money from his innovation, and that's why he would patent it, and the patent rights may be sold to a person who has the manufacturing capacity. And for this thing, actually the technology transfer, this logical procedure will be required. Another reason is due to lack of resources to launch product commercially. This the same point that we have seen in the first one. The resources are lacking with the researcher to launch that product commercially. Then due to lack of marketing, distribution capability. Well, even though the researcher or that R&D unit has the capacity to produce it commercially because of having their own manufacturing plant, but again, for successful commercialization, the marketing distribution is required, and the marketing and distribution capacities, they are with the giant companies only. So for successful commercialization, again the technology transfer will be required. Forming alliances with partners. Well, there are several business partners, business units, and the technologies are, one partner may not be interested to commercialize it or may not be interested to manufacture it, but he would like to find a partner who is interested to manufacture, or he will be interested to find a partner having the capacity to market or distribute, or we can say to promote the given product. And for this purpose, the alliances will be required to be formed. When there are such alliances, and when this kind of thing will be going on as a routine basis, so naturally the technology transfer process will be a routine process between the alliance partners. Then forming alliance with partners with manufacturing capacity, as we discussed earlier. The alliance researcher can make the alliance with a partner having manufacturing capacity. Similarly, forming alliances with partners with marketing and distribution capacity. Researcher can make the alliance with the partners having marketing and distribution capacity. Moreover, the exploitation in a different field of application. Well, a new process, or in case of pharma industry, maybe it may be a drug. So the application of the drug may be different. For a given drug, for a given molecule, maybe that it has some diagnostic properties. At the same time, it has some therapeutic properties. So one partner may be interested to exploit only the diagnostic properties or diagnostic applications of the given drug molecule, whereas the other partner will be interested to exploit the therapeutic application of that given molecule. So the field of application may be different for a same formula or same drug, and this way there has to be alliance between the partners, and where again the role of technology transfer will be there in between the partners. There are list of institutes assisting in the technology transfer. There are some institutes like Asia Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology, APCTT. Then Technology Bureau for Small Enterprise. Then National Research and Development Corporation. Well, these are the institutes having the national repute, they or sometimes the international repute, and these institutes have the capacity to commercialize any product. Moreover, they have the capacity with them available for carrying out the procedure required to transfer the technology. So, technology transfer team. This is the second point we have. The technology transfer team consists of the following: R&D process technologist, QA representative, product representative, engineering representative, QC representative. Well, as we have seen, the technology transfer is nothing but the logical procedure for the transfer of the new technology or new process from one manufacturing unit to another manufacturing unit, or from R&D to manufacturing unit. So obviously this is a teamwork. A well organized team is required, comprising several comprising the personals having different expertise. So there has to be R&D process technologist who will be indulging himself to carry in carrying out the R&D operations. Moreover, the QA representative, the quality assurance representative must be there as to properly control the process. The QA representative is responsible for carrying out successfully the validation, instrument equipment validation, the process validation, and so on. Moreover, the process parameters are required to be controlled, and for this purpose also the QA representatives are needed. Then the production representative must be there, because the small sized formula is supposed to be exploited or transformed to a large scale formula. Obviously, the person having the production skill, or must be having the experience in the production area, and thus he should be a part of that team in the technology transfer. The engineering representative is also required. The engineering representative has the role to select the equipment, to select the equipment while erecting the plant or while designing the process. Maybe that some parts of sometimes equipment is there, but the part of that equipment is required to be replaced. Then again, as the work is supposed to be done, or it is supposed to be going on for a specific period, so the maintenance of the equipment is the requirement, and therefore the engineering representative must also be a member of this team. Then the QC representative is also needed, as the product, if it is to be evaluated properly, then the QC procedures, quality control procedures, must be laid down. Quality control, for raw materials, quality control for in-process materials, quality control for the products, for everything the quality control must be there. Moreover, the final product, finished product, it is also required to be analyzed, and for this purpose also the analytical procedures must be robust analytical procedures must be designed, validated, and should be made available for proper evaluation of the product. So the team actually is made available, having the representatives from all such departments, or having the personals with the expertise in the different area, as it is mentioned in this list, and they should have the proper organization, proper coordination, and proper head, so that the work can be planned and the technology transfer process will be successfully executed. So here the technology transfer team, the details of the roles and responsibilities, as we discussed briefly in the previous slide. So the process technologist will have the responsibilities like central focus for transfer activities, then collates, documents, and internal assessment taken by him for feasibility, compatibility, etc. So this is the process technologist, as the focus on the transfer activities. Moreover, he is responsible for compiling the documents, and also the internal assessment taken by him for the feasibility and compatibility. The process of the new product is thoroughly studied by the process technologist, and he must compile all the relevant documents related to the process. Moreover, he has to work on the feasibility of the process when during the transfer, and also the compatibility of the process with the new manufacturing facility. Here, the QA representative. Let us check the responsibilities of the QA representative. He reviews the documentation to determine compliance with marketing authorization. So he is responsible for marketing authorization. Then he reviews the analytical methods with QC to determine capability, equipment training requirements. So these are the essential components. Then he initiates conversion of donor site documentation into local system or format, and he initiates also or confirms regulatory requirements. The quality assurance representative also confirms the regulatory requirements required for the transfer of the technology. Then the production representative, responsibilities of the production representative are that he will review the process instructions with the process technologies to confirm capacity and capability. Well, the process instructions, they can be prepared for the large scale manufacturing in consultation with the process technologist. So the steps wise the production process is supposed to be laid down, and here the capacity and capability is taken into account. Accordingly, the process instructions are prepared for the large scale manufacturing where the production representative is involved in direct working. Then he would consider any safety implications, for example solvents, toxic or sanitizing materials. Well, at the in the laboratory actually we don't understand exactly the hazardous effect of some solvents. Maybe that some solvent is the organic one, or maybe having the toxicity. So such materials, when they are required to be handled at a large scale, so the production representative can understand this thing, and he should consider the safety implication for the same when the process will be transferred at the large scale or to the large scale manufacturing plant. Then he would consider impact on local standard operating procedures. So in the manufacturing unit where actually the technology is going to be transferred, so there might be some existing standard operating procedures, and by the transfer of the new technology, the production representative has to understand that how or to what extent the new technology will have its impact on the local standard operating procedures. If the modifications are required, so the production representative has the responsibility to modify the things. Then he would consider training requirements of supervisors or operators. If the new technology has been transferred to a manufacturing unit or manufacturing plant, obviously the operators or the supervisors working in the plant, they will require the training, because they won't have that process which is the existing process. With the entry of the new technology in the manufacturing plant, maybe that sometimes the process has some changes, has some modifications as compared to the existing process. And for this purpose, the personnel working over there, like the operators and supervisors, they will require the training. Moreover, the engineering representative has the responsibility to review equipment requirement in consultation with the production representative. Then he would initiate required engineering modifications, change or part purchase, and he would review preventive maintenance and calibration impact. Then the QC representative has the responsibility to review analytical requirements. Then he would see the availability with instruments or availability of the instruments. If the relevant instruments are not available, then he may ask for the purchasing of those instruments. Responsibility for analytical method transfer for drugs, substance, and drug product. Well, uh, the analytical methods that have been developed in order to analyze the drug substance and also the drug product. The drug substance, which is an active ingredient of the drug product. So the same method may be, it is available, it is developed in the QC lab for and also the process of analysis for drug product has been developed in the QC lab, but these processes are developed in accordance with the product obtained from a laboratory scale process, and then this process or analytical method, if it is supposed to be transferred at the other site in order to analyze the product uh, which has been manufactured from in the large scale unit. So in that case, the QC representative has the role, has the responsibility to transfer that process successfully, so that a proper analysis will be there, as like the analysis which was being done with the R&D product. So these are the stages involved in technology transfer process. So first of all, development of technology by R&D. This is the first step which is taken place by R&D people, which is the research phase actually. Then the technology transfer from R&D to production. Then optimization and production. So this is the production phase. And this optimization and production, which is supposed to be carried out in a pilot plant. Then the technology transfer documentation. This is the very important part. Technology transfer documentation. The technology transfer from R&D to production. R&D provides technology transfer dossier. Well, R&D provides technology transfer dossier, abbreviated as TTD, document to product development laboratory, which contains all information of formulation and drug product as follows. So this dossier document is very important, which is provided by R&D to the product development laboratory, and the following information is there in the dossier. The first one is the master formula card, abbreviated as MFC. It includes the product name along with its strains, generic name, MFC number, page number, effective date, shelf life, and market. Another thing is the master packing card, gives information about packaging type, material used for packaging, stability profile, and shelf life of packaging. Master formula describes formulation, order, and manufacturing instructions, or process order and environment conditions. So the master formula is the main part of that dossier, and it describes basically the formulation order and manufacturing instructions. In the dossier, the specifications and standard test procedures are also there, which helps to know active ingredients and excipients profile, in-process parameters, product release specifications, and finished product details. So all the details of details from raw materials to finished products are available in this part of the dossier under the title, specifications and standard test procedures. Technology transfer from means here the giving site let us see the list of documents by the giving side and list of documents by the receiving side, uh, or the roles of the giving side and roles of the receiving side. Provide giving side provide latest source documentation. So the source documentation must be latest one and the correct one. Then latest specifications, internal or registered. It provides process transfer. Then the protocol or report, like analytical report method. Then the receiving side, executive protocol, that is analytical method. Then qualified facility and equipment or instrument. Then setup system and setup training program. This is as good as the checklist for giving side and the receiving side. Well, according to this checklist, all the things must be over if for the successful technology transfer. And in the receiving side, before the actual manufacturing starts, uh, all the things must be checked out whether they have been properly executed after receiving from the giving side. So executing the protocol for analytical method, this is a must. Before the manufacturing actually starts, we have to execute the protocol of analytical method. Then the qualified facility and equipment or instrument. The facility of manufacturing, it must be qualified as to accommodate the new technology. It may be that the capacity wise, the equipment with a modified capacity may be required, and sometimes the modified means the substitute equipment may be required. Then the entire setup system has to be made available, or it should be must be well must be ready as to accommodate the new technological process in order to have the successful manufacturing with the new technology. Then set up training program. This training program must also be there for training of the personnel, operators, supervisors, etc. With this kind of preparations only, the manufacturing with the new technology will be successful. So here, for the successful technology transfer, communication is very important. The open communication between all team members has to be there. Direct communication between technical members, then effective and timely communication with the regulators. Well, the one facility will transfer the technology to another facility. There are the transfer may be in between the two partners. Those partners have some common interest, and they are the business partners. The technology transfer must be complete within the stipulated time, and for this thing, the communication is the main reason. If a proper communication will be there, there are more chances for the successful transfer of the technology. There has to be open communication between all the team members. Well, there should be no constraints so far as the communication is concerned between the team members. Direct communication must be there between the team technical members also, and effective and timely communication with the regulators. Well, as the process is being transferred from one facility to another facility, with the time that in which actually the process transfer is being done or technology transfer is being done, but at the same time the communication with the regulator also must be there. Smooth communication has to be there with the regulator, so that by the time the technology transfer will be over, all the regulatory requirements will also have been over. This is very important. Then sending and receiving unit. Technology transfer is not a one-way street, as it is a transfer between the partners. So it is not a one-way street. Then the sending unit and receiving unit must be equally involved in the process to ensure success. Both the units, sending and receiving units, are beneficiaries. With the transfer of the technology, they are going to benefit both. They both of them are going to get benefited, and therefore they must be actively involved. If one is actively involved and another one is not, then the technology will not be transferred successfully. Because it is also important to have that transfer completed within the stipulated time. Otherwise, if unnecessary delay would be there, so the greater investment, greater expenses will be there, and just violating the agreement between the partners, and thus will create the dispute between the partners. So it is very important to have that proper communication, then proper involvement of both the units, sending as well as receiving, and then only we can have the successful technology transfer. Moreover, teamwork has to be there all the time. Any activity which is there, it is not or any activity it will be affecting the overall technological transfer. Therefore, the people should work in both the unit, receiving as well as sending unit, as a teamwork for the successful transfer. Then let us see the checklist for technology transfer. It consists of the production master formula, manufacturing and dispensing instructions, analytical methods, cleaning instructions and previous cleaning validation, active specification source, primary packaging material specifications and source, packaging instructions, process deviations file, analytical deviations file, specimen manufacturing batch record. So these are the important documents, we can say, or the procedures or the methodologies to be transferred, and all these things must be checked thoroughly and must be completed. Then only we can say there has been a successful transfer of technology. Production master formula, this is a very important one, because after the transfer of the technology, the direct manufacturing, the large scale unit is going to be started, and therefore it requires the production master formula, which includes actually the formula or the order of the ingredients mixing, and moreover the instructions to manufacture. Then manufacturing and dispensing instructions are there. Analytical method, which is a very important one, which has to be modified or validated, and complementary to the product which is going to be obtained from the large scale manufacturing. Then the cleaning instructions must be there, and the previous cleaning validation. Whatever previous cleaning validations are there, along with that the cleaning instructions, then active specifications and source. primary packaging material, specifications and source. The active ingredient which is going to be used in the product, so its specifications and source, they must be well mentioned. It has to be specified. Then primary packaging material, specifications and source, packaging instructions, process deviation file, analytical deviations file. So the whatever deviations would be there in the manufacturing process as well as in the analytical process, so this thing must be there in the file. And then specimen manufacturing batch record, so all these things must be there in the complete dossier which is going to be used for the transfer of technology. So let us see the conclusion. Technology transfer creates a bridge between the R&D and production, as it helps in creating more efficient and safe medications. This is the ultimate objective, to have the successful technology transfer from R&D to production in order to create the efficient and safe medications. Then this is systematic process with proper protocol which should be followed by both the ends, while a QA personnel should verify and maintain the documentation included in this protocol. Then development, transfer, production and documentation are the phase of technology transfer. There are certain checklist materials which are followed during the technology transfer. So this is how we can conclude the introduction to technology transfer or technology transfer from R&D to production. Thank you.